Hello Rover fans, it's headlining time. This will be the second time I do this headlining in about a week because I screwed it up first time round. But it's good for you because I'm filming it this time. It probably would have been better if I'd filmed it when I screwed it up, but I'll explain what I did. It's been a while since I've done a sunroof headliner and I forgot that you need to leave fabric loose on this so that when you offer it up to the car you can glue the fabric into the sunroof frame that remains in the car. So you cover all of this and you leave this bit baggy. Probably don't even bother cutting it out, because when you go to the car you glue, I think onto here. This I have repaired and repainted, but there was glue on there, I remember. So that's what I need to do, and then this piece of trim goes over the top. And the other thing I did, which is really silly, is when I had the headlining outside, I cut holes for 4 of these grab handles when I actually only needed to cut 3, because the driver's side doesn't have a grab handle, because presumably you would keep bopping your head. So all in all, total waste of time. So I'm going to do it all again, and this time record it. That is all cleaned off. I've been over it with panel wipe. I'm not going to go any stronger solvent because I don't want to reactivate any of the glues that's in this. The new fabric is here. I've got it from retrim. I love this company. I don't obviously get sponsored, don't do a proper YouTube channel or anything like that, but they're always super helpful. And the reason I buy it from them is they do so many different color choices. This here is the color I'm going for. Basically, this backing is a fiberglass skin, not an original card one. It originally, I think, would have been made by Aldridge Trimming, and it's the same one as I think Rimmer Brothers supply. When you buy it from them, they do grey, or they do, I think they call it oatmeal. Let's see if I can open this one-handed. You can tell I'm not prepared very well. But it's a really bright orangey colour, and it doesn't look right as far as I'm concerned for the Series 2 cars that I've got. So another example is it's easier trying to match headlining material to sun visors than it is sun visors to headlining material. So that is a Series 2 beigey kind of sun visor, which doesn't match the stuff I've previously had from Aldridge Trimming. One of these will be, I haven't actually got the Series 1 up here. Oh, that's the partner for that one. That is a creamy grey Series 2. This is a grey Series 2. And basically, that fabric kind of matches these better than anything else. So that's what I'm going with. What have I done with? Oh, never mind. You get the idea. retrim will also send you samples off their website, so you can get, I think, a set for like few quid posted to you. You can pick your colour. Anyway, ramble. I'm going to open that, lay it over here, cut it roughly to size, and then explain how I'm going to go about gluing it. Lovely stuff. Nice fresh roll. This is the adhesive they've sent me. So there are 2 different ones, high temperature one and a normal one. They've sent me this one, so I asked them for their advice of which one to use. That's what they've sent, so that's what I'll use. So roll it out, cut it to size, and then explain my method, then try and follow my own method without screwing it up. That's trimmed to size. As for method, some people will tell you do it in halves. So you flip that like that, you paint all of this with the glue, you paint all of that with the glue, you fold it over, rub it down, and then you do the other half. That's great in theory, but I've found that on any headlining where you have a recess like this, or at the front where you have the indentations for the sun visors and around the sunroof aperture, it just doesn't want to sit in, and it picks up here, picks up there, and you push it down there and it just doesn't stick down, or you get wrinkles and creases. So I tend to do it a bit different. I work at smaller areas. So to start with, well, not smaller areas, still going to do a big area, but I'm not going to bother gluing any of that. So, or here, I'm just going to do that edge, this central panel, and then I'll come back to these edges afterwards, and I'll probably do that area, run it into here, but not put any glue on there or on this edge until I'm happy that's sat in. So that's the plan, and then I'll follow a similar process with the front. So I'll probably come up to here, then try and do the infill, or I might go straight onto the front and pick up on there and do that bit, then come back and fill this bit, and then last off do these. This stuff, because it's contact adhesive, it clings and it grips. If you try and peel this back off, it either tears the foam off the back of the nylon, or it stretches the nylon, and either way it screws it up. So I'll set the camera up and I'll hope I get lucky. I might have to move my cider and my peanuts, but I did say peanuts there, not anything else. Couple of things to mention here, and of course I'm deliberately screwing this up just so you can learn. That's gone okay, this has gone okay. If you get the glue really wet and it fills in a tray like that, don't be tempted to push it, because what you'll do is you'll push the glue through and you'll just see like a wet finger mark. So I'm going to leave that for the moment and try and push it down later when the glue's got off a bit. Over here we have overspray. Don't be tempted to like rub it with your hand, which is what I used to do, because it sticks into the fabric and it's you won't get it off. You could try using solvents, but you'll just damage the headlining. So that's there to stay. This bit will be cut out anyway, so it doesn't matter. This, what I'll do is I'll leave it till it goes off, and then I'll use some tweezers to just tear it off, because once this glue's gone, or like all the solvents evaporated off, it's a bit like copy decks, like old stringy glue, and you can just peel it off. That's the idea. And where I do have some wrinkles like this, it doesn't matter so much now because I haven't stuck this bit over, and you can pull it tighter a little bit if you're lucky and see how that crease is now disappearing. And the other thing is, don't forget the grab handles go on here like that, so a lot of this gets hidden, so don't panic, as it were. But anyway, gonna move to that side, do that, probably stick the middle of this. And the reason I'm hurrying and doing this while I've been already drinking, what's that, my third can of cider, so not ideal for doing a delicate job, but it's getting dark and tomorrow it's going to piss down, and then that's pretty much the end of summer and all the dry weather. So outdoor jobs need to get done now. Well, it ain't bad. These rumples here are because there's quite a lot going on in that area. You've got quite a strange shape really, and then the holes for the what's it called, sun visor things. But by the time the A-pillar trim and the sun visor is bolted up and all the rest of it, that'll be fine. This has come out really nicely, really happy with that. Again, more overspray back there, not touching it, but the grab handle areas have worked much better than the last time I did it. This whole seam and all of the gluing and wrapping onto the back of the panel I'll do in the garage tomorrow. It was just critical to get the majority of this done tonight, and I have to say, when that's in, that's going to look so much better. Got a bit of a something going on there. Oh, I just never smoothed it out. Whoops. In fact, did I even glue that bit? I can't remember. Shouldn't matter because the rear view mirror mounting goes here. In fact, have I glued that? Yeah, I have. I think that'll be alright. Okay, right, I'm going in now. Bye. It's the next day. It's brighter than I thought it was going to be, but it's still not great. Here we can see overspray. These are some very nice tweezers I got from my wife, and basically now that this is all gone off, you just grab it and tear it off, and Bob's your uncle and your dad. It's quite a laborious process, but it does get rid of it, and it's sitting on top of the very tip of the headlining fabric, so it's not, what you don't want to do is accidentally jab it in further because it's still tacky because it's a contact adhesive. This technique seems to work pretty well. Don't, like, if you snatch it and rip it, it comes off better than if you pull it gently. So yeah, that's the best way to get rid of it, I find. Headlining sort of done. I've just glued up the inner lip of here, left all that fabric there, which is what I did wrong last time. And then I've just cut my holes for the grab handles and the rear sun visors, rear view mirror. Not done the ones on that side, so I don't screw that up again. I'll do that in the car afterwards. I was going to wait for my neighbour to come around and give me a hand putting this in, but I might have a bash doing it myself. Will I? Won't I? Oh, I don't know. Well, a thing happened. My friend Theo came round and to bring back a tool that he borrowed, and it just so happened I roped him into helping me fit that. So it's in now. A couple of other things to do, like fit the grab handles and button it all up. I need to cut this, wrap it over and glue it, but I'm going to experiment with that. I might use a hot glue gun, or I might use some double-sided tape rather than the spray adhesive, because the spray adhesive will go everywhere. Maybe some contact glue, you know, the stuff you paint on. I don't actually have any at the moment, so that will probably have to wait there for the moment, but I have to say that I'm pleased. Oops. Well, not pleased I screwed up the first time, but I'm glad I did it again because it's a lot better now. I'm going to have to improvise a little bracket to hold the headlining up at the middle back, but I've done that before, that's not hard. And yeah, really happy. If you're going to do one, good luck. We've got to the stage where the headliner is sort of up and in there, but in order to glue the fabric back onto the backing, I need this part out. I also need that part out so I can fit my new seal. I say new, it's a better used one. And then I also need the actual carriage that slides backwards and forwards out, so that this can be glued onto the frame and then that can go back in again. All a bit of a palaver, but put that down there. Now I need to get this bit out without grubby finger marks and all the rest of it, and I can't remember how it comes apart. This bit obviously prevents you from lifting it, so they all have to come off both sides. And then I can't remember whether that also has to come apart. Obviously I never did this up, I was still in the process of adjusting things. This is the problem where you jump backwards and forwards between projects and life. So yeah, some head scratching. What a palaver. It's out. I had to undo the guides at the front and release these from the tracks. So hopefully it will be fairly straightforward to put it back in. Everything is fresh in my mind this time. What I need to do now, get this off, just the lip seal that I put on temporarily, fold this fabric round and glue it, where are we, into here, trim it off, then reassemble. You will also note that the headliner, although it's fiberglass, it does still hang down. So I've got some very strong Velcro just from a DIY shop, so that I'll apply to the fiberglass headlining boards. I'll stick it up in there, and the same across the rear. I will also make a bracket to hold the rear. The originals have completely rotted away, but what would have been present is some little hooks that go over the seal, or like they go over the rear lip of the roof there, and the seal slips down on top and they pick up and hold the headlining up. So we'll try a bit of this, and then if that doesn't work I'll have to make a little bracket. I'm making this up as I go along. What I've done is pulled that thing off, that lip trim, replaced it with bulldog clips all the way around. Then what I shall do is mark out where the fabric finishes. So I don't want it to hang miles over, I don't want it to interfere with these rails. So I'm just going to get a pen, mark it all the way around, trim these and fold them in so it sits nicely, and then just stick it and clip it with bulldog clips as I go all the way around. And rather than use the spray contact adhesive, I've got a pot of brushable stuff so that I don't make quite as much of a mess. I just need to find out where it is. There it is. God, that was easy. Multi-purpose impact contact adhesive. Happy with that. I wasn't looking forward to that job, but it's worked out pretty neat. We have finished sunroof aperture, and the Velcro is holding that bit of the sunroof up very nicely, which is good. Now I need to very carefully put the sunroof thing back in there without scratching this. So I'll mask that up probably. And when I say sunroof thing, I mean that bit. Adjust all of that up, change the seal, put that on. Now, yeah, that is all in and adjusted. When this latches in the mid position on here, you can't move the frame backwards and forwards because the tangs sit in. If you pull it forward, they disengage equally on both sides. and they do it in front or reverse directions, so that's all good. Now I need to turn my attentions to the actual infill panel. This seal is an original, but it's torn. It should be on there like that, and it's damaged. People will tell you that the Jaguar seals fit, which is that part number there. I don't know whether that is actually the Jaguar part number or if that's just the Rimmer Brothers one. But basically, as with most things from Rimmer Brothers, it doesn't work because they are completely different. The SD1 seal along the rear edge, well, around all of it really, it's just a lip seal like that. It just has a little lip that sits up. The Jag seal is almost like a door seal. It has this section here, a hollow section, so it's really quite bulky. It's just like a door seal really. Consequently, they're not the same and they don't fit right. You can fanny around until you get it about right, but I'm not going to bother because somewhere I have a much better Rover Sunroof seal. I don't know what I've done with it, but it does exist and it will be in this garage somewhere. I just have to try and find it, then do a bit of a clean up and then fit it to this. I'm also going to put some wax oil on the underside of that to try and stop it from rusting again, and then it can all go back in the car. Right, this is the new second-hand seal. It's really nice rubber, nice and flexible. It's still in one complete piece, and it's the correct SD1 type with a rain channel. Let me just turn that football down, rather than this squidgy pert one, which is the Jaguar style one. Sunroof lid is down there. I've got a tin of Dynax UB underbody wax, anti-corrosion wax. So I'm going to spray that in a can and then brush paint it on under there. Then I've got my edging pieces. These hold the seal to the underside of the panel, and then impact adhesive to go along the back edge where this bit goes. That's the remains of the original contact adhesive. So I know what I'm doing. I need to go and pull my finger out and do it. Righty ho, that's the seal on and fitted. Everything is covered in underbody wax, including bits that shouldn't be, but that's okay because it will have to be cleaned off. Well, not all of it obviously, but bits that could interfere with that panel and the headlining. So I'm going to go and get some brake cleaner, and I won't do the underside bit yet because really what I want to concentrate on is cleaning this area, and then that will be stuck on with the contact adhesive. I can leave it to cure with some bulldog clips again. They've come in real handy, and then go and have for dinner, and then maybe put this in tonight or during the week at some point. There we go. That seal is on. bulldog clips holding it for the moment. It has shrunk a bit, they just do that, anything rubber does, but it should still fit up in the aperture, and it's nice and supple compared to some of the other ones I've got. So that's that for the moment. I will leave that and head up and have a clean up and have some dinner. It is the next night. That I've only just taken all the bulldog clips off, but that's well on there. Pleased with that. I'm going to now flip it over, clean off the edges with the panel wipe just to degrease it, because in the front of here are little threaded holes all the way along, and they screw on here. So what I've got to do is very carefully lift this panel up, slide these tabs under these springs back here. I don't know whether you can see that in there. One each side, without scratching the sunroof, without getting cavity wax on bits and pieces, and hopefully it all slotting together nicely. Now that doesn't always happen, so I'm going to mask up a bit more, get rid of the tools off the top there, and then see how it goes. That's cleaned off. I've also retapped these holes here, so the threads should pick up nicely. Up here, this sunroof was all perfectly aligned, just it had the wrong seal in it. When I aligned it, I had it cock on and it was all perfect, really happy with it. I've moved all this around, and I'm going to have to realign it all again, which is going to be really frustrating. But I think it's as good as I've got it, or can get it at the moment. There's still some lateral play if I move it left and right, and that can be taken out by doing up these, but I'm going to leave it loose for the moment. When I say loose, I mean these nuts are done up tight. The bracket isn't moving, but there's just some play actually, because I've left it a bit slack. Not the nuts, but just the adjustment of it. So I'm going to put the camera down, move this forward. There we go. So now I should be able to feed the sunroof in and try and pick up on these latches. Wish me luck. We have one side in. We have second side in. what I'm doing is just tucking the seal in, because this is meant to act like a drip tray and sits below the level of the roof. This is why trying to fit the Jaguar seal is such a pain, because it's pert and proud and it doesn't want to sit in there perfectly. That's looking okay. Let's kind of look from the other side. So yeah, we just need to get that in there, and then we can check that I can screw that other panel in. I'm not too worried about scratching the paint. I know this drops in deep enough and I can't see that anything I've changed will, you know, cause this to stick up and damage anything. So it should, as it goes back, just drop down. Yes, it has. Right, good. I'll go and grab the screws and we'll try and put a couple of those in just here and here to hold it, and then we can see how it aligns. She's in. Now, it is not perfect, but if you slam it, it sort of fits. I do need to work on the linkage, because if you were to go over a bump... Oh, actually, it stopped doing it. Right, yeah, so you just need to slam it and it works. And then from the inside, it looks like that. You put your hand up there. Sunroof goes back. Put it forward. Sunroof goes up. The gap left to right is pretty good. The gap here, I guess, is acceptable. Hopefully this seal will spring out again. It's been in storage in funny positions. Nice and straight across the back as well. I'm pretty happy with that. I'll just one thing I need to do, I only found 2 of these screws. I need to buy some more, and I'm going to buy them in stainless because I don't want them to sort of damage the headliner. And there also, I think, should be some sort of pad here and there. I don't know, but we'll have a look. But yeah, that is another big thing ticked off, really. Rebuild the seats. I need to do some stitching, fit there, or clean up the sun visors, retrim with that fabric the pillar covers that go down here. Then when they're in, all the blue trim can go in. Rebuild the doors, all the door locks, check all the electrics for them, and it's final assembly. Cool. Right, see you next time. Bye.